I've been thinking, I can't run this club forever. I built this from nothing. This is our family. You and me, kid.
From the beginning?
Yes, please.
It was the golden age of Bikeriders. And I never felt so out of place in all my life. That's when I saw him for the first time. It took my breath away.
I'm Benny.
5 weeks later, I married him. I thought I could change him, you know? Not to be different, but to be, I don't know, like he's wild.
Hey!
I told you to take that jacket off.
You'd have to kill me to get this jacket off.
Hello, my name is Michael Morley, and I'm here to review The Bikeriders, directed by Jeff Nichols, starring Jodie Comer, Austin Butler, and Tom Hardy. Also co-starring some of the biggest names like Damon Herriman, who's a very iconic Australian actor, Michael Shannon, Norman Reedus, Boyd Holbrook, Emery Cohen. This is an amazing cast. There is a lot of actors in this movie that I absolutely respect. It is based on a true story about a character who was a reporter named, well, more like a journalist, photographer journalist, who meets these bike riders, and it's played by the actor Mike Feast, who's kind of making a big rising impact with his acting career right now. He is watching them, he's taking pictures of them, he's observing them, but he's also interviewing the main character, who we're mainly seeing from her perspective. She's in a relationship with Benny, who is played by Austin Butler. She's sort of telling the story of what it's like to date someone that's in a bike gang. And this was kind of one of a kind. In the year, this was from 1965 to 1973, so we're seeing it from those years. Apparently, this was one of the, probably the first, if not the first, official bike gang that had ever started in history. Apparently, it all started with a guy played by Johnny, played by Tom Hardy, who just was obsessed with the movie The Wild One that starred Marlon Brando, and he loved bikes, he loved cars, he wanted to start a gang, like just an innocent gang of guys that loved what were in bikes, play darts and shit. It was like an innocent thing. But as time goes on, it just grows and grows and grows into this big empire that it starts to become corrupt, it starts to become violent. People start to not like them. It was if you watch this movie and see them as characters, you see them as real people. These are friends that love each other. They have this security. It's like high school. You have your buddy of friends that you hang out with and you absolutely respect and love each other. That's what makes school so much better, is having lunchtime with your friends. This is what it was like for these guys. It was like their place to go and hang out and have fun. It really wasn't violent like it came across. Like as time went on, it became more violent with these new members that were coming in, and that was when this gang, it became more corrupt because there were more people that were knowing about it and thought everyone was all rough and tough, but really they were just nice people that loved cars and motorbikes. And then you had all these junkies that would come in that were drug dealers, were corrupt and had to go on to prison, and they all ended up joining the group. And then it started getting a little bit shady and a little bit weird. And half of these bike gangs, like Johnny didn't know half of these people because it got so big, he didn't even know half of these new gang members that were coming into the group, and they were doing shady shit. So it is interesting to see how it becomes so popular that you start to lose control of your own gang and you don't even know half the gang that have now joined your crew. This movie also feels like Goodfellas. We're seeing it from the girlfriend's perspective, and she's telling the story, just like in Goodfellas, how the wife was talking about dating Ray Liotta's character, and it just felt like she was talking about dating a gangster. In Goodfellas, this is like her dating a bike rider in a bike gang. It was so much like that. And I have such a weakness for these sort of movies, man. This was one of the best movies I've seen this year. Is there some faults? There are times where it would go back and forth from 1965 to 1973, and then I'd be like, oh, okay, yep. But at times where the photographer journalist wasn't around to observe what was going on. He kind of disappears in a certain time. He's there from 1965 to 1969, but he kind of just pisses off at a certain point, and we're kind of wondering, well, who's documenting right now? What's happening right now? So it does get a bit confusing because we are focusing from the girlfriend's point of view, but we're also focusing from the photojournalist's point of view as well. And that's just me being nitpicky, and I don't think anyone's really going to give a crap about that, but I just noticed that was a little bit of an inconsistency with the movie. But the performances are incredible. Tom Hardy, phenomenal. Always puts in a great performance. Michael Shannon, Norman Reedus, Emery Cohen, Boyd Holbrook, Damon Harriman, they all do a fantastic job. These are all a collaboration of fantastic actors. And Austin Butler, man, he was one of these actors that I never liked. When he was on shows like Zoe 101, he was in a few Disney shows, he was in that very lackluster, crappy Sex and the City prequel, The Bikeriders, which I thought was absolutely terrible. I thought, this guy cannot act. Man, he is one of the best rising actors right now. He's the full package. He's a good-looking dude. He can act. He's what people should be talking about in Hollywood right now. If there's anyone in LA right now that is kind of on that peak of becoming like the next Brad Pitt, the next George Clooney, Leonardo DiCaprio, he is that guy. That is him. And he has just become such a better actor. He's kind of like Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum wasn't that great of an actor, but then as he just kept going and going with his career, he just became a better actor. The thing I love is how much it relates to real life. Like, I think we all want to belong. We all want to belong to something, and all these guys feel like this group is what makes them feel fulfilled with life, because sometimes some of them really don't have anything else to go to. They don't really have a family that understands them, or this is their one place where they get to hang out and be who they are and they feel accepted. And that was one of the best things about this movie. And I think it's going to go on in history as one of the best movies of all time. 9 out of 10.
What about the bar? Burn it down.
The club got real big real fast. They started running drugs, gambling, prostitution.
Is that what this club is now?
I want you to quit writing.
Don't ask that. Benny. I need you.
You can't have him.
If he wants to ride a bike, he'll ride a bike. Hey, just think it over,